Greetings, dear sisters, brothers, and respected elders. Welcome and let us travel together on this joyful journey of self-discovery, full of possibilities, with the awe and wonder, and relook at the subtler nuances of our approach to the daily practice and what we should do after each Bhandara to retain and enhance our spiritual condition. We were fortunate to have had two virtual Bhandaras in 2020 till now. By our Master's grace and blessings, and if the pandemic continues for a longer period, there could possibly be more virtual Bhandaras. I will briefly touch upon some of the important facets in an Abhyasi's journey after the Bhandara. Cheerful acceptance. We should all ponder over what the virus guru is teaching us and what are our learnings during the trying times of the lockdown period and going beyond. Lalaji Maharaj had said, "From the worst, the best will come." We accept miseries as divine blessings and thank God for the same. Many a times we feel that we have to bear the pain and suffering and we really do not have any choices. The pain may be caused for any reason and we somehow reconcile ourselves to suffering either in silence or otherwise. Our masters have given us options and solutions. Babuji Maharaj had said that in our life, pain is inevitable and everyone suffers, which is a normal occurrence. Some persons inflict pain on themselves and want to suffer. This is not normal or natural. However, undergoing pain without suffering is a possibility only in spirituality. By being in constant remembrance, severe pain can be endured quite easily. Daji has taken this to a higher level and said that one should accept miseries cheerfully. It is certainly not easy. The cheerful acceptance will make us go through pain without actually suffering, and one can be calm, peaceful, and balanced. This positive attitude will benefit the individual as well as all others. The second facet would be every home and ashram. It is worthwhile recollecting what Babuji Maharaj had said over 60 years ago. He wanted every home to have a preceptor. Presently, we have over 12,000 preceptors worldwide. Babuji Maharaj wanted every home to have an Abhyasi. Today, heartfulness is present in over 160 countries and we have more than 10 million Abhyasis, with thousands more joining almost every day. Babuji wanted every home to become an ashram. And for our Abhyasis, Babuji Maharaj's Sankalpa has now become a reality. As during the virtual Bhandara, every Abhyasi's home became an ashram where the daily practice, meditation sessions, sittings and satsangs take place regularly. This has transformed the home into a spiritual center of light, illuminating the entire area surrounding it and benefiting one and all in the neighborhood. An ashram is where the master resides. And fortunately for us, as we have transformed our home and also our heart into an ashram. It is only due to Master's grace and blessings that unknowingly and knowingly this has happened, and we have somehow internalized the Master, so that wherever he is, we are, and wherever we are, he is. Even though the Master is physically present at Kana and we are at some other location in the world, the distances really do not matter, as the Master is permanently residing in our hearts. He is always with us. And Abhyasi, as Abhyasis, we are transformed through the literature and informed about through the talks of our masters during our interactions with preceptors and other Abhyasis, during the training programs, how one has to prepare for the Bhandaras and attend them if it is feasible and possible. We would definitely read the literature, view videos, take more sittings, attend satsangs, and intensify our daily practice. We are also informed that the spiritual wealth given in the Bhandaras lasts till the next Bhandara and usually for a very long time. Earlier, whenever it is possible, we used to go to the announced main center or the local ashrams to attend the Bhandaras, benefit from the Master's presence and the Bhandara sittings, and being in the spiritually charged atmosphere, do our very best. Some of us would remain in silence and observe fast and be immersed in the remembrance and meditate, trying to retain the spiritual condition given to us as far as possible, and only then return home. With this virtual Bhandara, we are locked down at home with family members, and it is definitely easier to retain the spiritual conditions. Now we come to what do we do after the Bhandara. So after the Bhandara, what generally happens to us? Are we still motivated to do our practice and enhance it to a higher level, do better, and continue to progress on the fast track? Or do we feel we have progressed a lot, take it easy, take a break, pause in life, become slack due to whatever soever reasons, maybe our complacency, laziness, lack of interest, and to a certain extent even spiritual fatigue? Then what should one do, and how to retain and enhance the spiritual conditions given by our Master? At every Bhandara, the hierarchy of divine spiritual masters, Lord Krishna, Swami Vivekananda, and many high-level spiritual beings, masters from various dimensions, are present and shower us with their love, grace, and blessings. Hence, whatever the spiritual gifts we receive during Bhandaras are virtually infinite, and we may never really know what we have actually received. It is something like our parents and family members, teachers, guides, friends, and others who do so much for us since our birth, and we may really never understand completely what we have received till we become parents or teachers or guides and so on. Now it comes to an interesting facet. Can we ever repay our masters? Can we ever repay our masters for what they give us and have done for us? May not be possible at all, ever. Even thanks and our love for him are not enough. However, we can eternally be grateful and try to become like the Master in every way possible, here and now. The essential scientific principles are applicable to both the material and spiritual aspects of life. We have observed that when we put our hand in water, it gets wet. Near fire, it gets hot. On ice, it gets cold. All these sensations are given instantly or observed instantly, and we feel them immediately. Therefore, when we enter our ashram, the spiritually charged atmosphere created by our masters should we not get divinized instantly. But somehow this is not happening. Every sitting and satsang gives us an opportunity to get divinized. When we start our meditation, we are told to please start meditation. And after the sitting is completed, the preceptor says, that's all. My late mother, Mrs. Sharda Dhareshwar, had given a beautiful insight into this. She had said that when we start meditation, it is always we start meditation. But the end, it is not that's all. It is that is all. The significance is that during the sitting itself, one should have completed the journey and reached the goal. We come to another interesting facet. Receive and absorb 100%. Our masters give us everything and the infinite instantly. Lalaji Maharaj could take an aspirant to the highest level with only a glance. Babuji Maharaj had said, turn your head from here to there and you have reached. Chariji Maharaj had said, spirituality is here and now. Daji is always with us, ready to meditate with us, share with us his experiments and research findings, explain to us in very simple manners and examples, make it so easy to understand and follow. He is giving us everything required to take us to the next level. That also here and now. Are we ready and willing to receive and absorb what our masters are showering on us? That is the question. During the Bhandara, the master gives us 100%. Virtually everything and the infinite is credited to our virtual spiritual bank account. In short, he gives us a blank check. It is now up to us to select an option. We can keep the check in our pocket, which is close to our heart, and keep looking at it and show it to everyone else, or laminate it and frame it and place it on our desk or on the wall, or keep it in a safe deposit vault or in our locker, or lock it in a cupboard. It is very important to note that though we have received everything, we have not absorbed or utilized it. Ideally, we should have written any amount on the check and encashed it at the earliest, isn't it? At times, when one has a heavy meal, one cannot have another meal immediately. One may skip the next few meals altogether. It is only after the food is digested can we eat something. This is true for sittings and satsangs also. Only after absorbing what is given will our master give us more. The secret is renewed efforts and sustained practice. The words Abhyasi and Sadhu have significant meanings. An Abhyasi is one who does the Abhyas, which is the practice. A Sadhu is one who does the sadhana, which is also practice. A doctor has his medical practice. It is also well known that practice makes perfect. Hence, doing intense practice without a break, with love, faith, devotion, and perseverance, is the key to success on the spiritual path. It is said, God helps those who help themselves. Are we really helping ourselves? The Master gives and forgives. We get and forget. Isn't it high time that we get our bearings right, do a course correction now itself, reach the goal? If not for others, at least let us start with ourselves. In each sitting and satsang, beloved Master gives us everything. He also enhances our capacity to receive 100% and gives us the possibility to receive and absorb in the entire range between 1% and 100%. It can never be 0%, as the Master will certainly give all seekers at least something. The choice is always ours. We can always absorb and digest 100% of what our Master gives us, and that too instantly, by doing our daily practice with interest, doing it sincerely, regularly, with the attitude of love, joy, and wonder. We have to seriously relook at ourselves, reorient our focus, rededicate ourselves, and also redesign our own destiny in order to reach the ultimate goal. With our Master's constant 24/7 support and guidance, it is definitely possible to evolve to the highest here and now. Doing our daily sadhana and meditating by ourselves is one way of digesting what has been given to us. If we have faith in our Masters and ourselves, we can absorb 100% instantly, thereby enhancing our capacity to receive more, and our Master continues to give us more and more. In spirituality, not a drop more than the required amount is given. There is also no wastage whatsoever. Now we come to another interesting facet, course correction. In spite of having the latest computerized high-tech GPS navigation systems and autopilot systems of navigation, the pilots in the planes and on the ships regularly check their navigation route path at fixed time intervals, and invariably they have to do course correction, as they are always off course due to either the atmospheric conditions and the weather factors like unseen currents, turbulence, and fluctuating wind velocities. On the spiritual path also, even a slight deviation could lead us to a totally different destination. One may be traveling very fast, but what is the use if we are going in the wrong direction? Hence, one has to reset and recalibrate our course. We observe ourselves and record our findings in our diary. This is one reason why maintaining a diary is very important. We can also go to preceptors and should regularly take sittings on a regular basis. Attending a Bhandara helps us in case there is a slight curvature or deviation, and the master rectifies any flaws and puts us on the correct path. Also, the master's blessings during the Bhandaras act as a booster rocket which propels us into a new higher level trajectory. We can also pray to and surrender to the master for his guidance and practice to be in a prayerful state, a meditative state, and in constant remembrance. Now I will come to another facet, which are tests. In our life, every day we face a series of tests until the final one. We always have choices to either bypass the test, that is, not appear at all, or fail the test and keep on repeating again and again. That's what we do by continuous rebirths. Just attempt without preparation and pray desperately to Master, who in His mercy, His compassion, love, may give us the required grace marks to pass, or do my very best, excel in my studies, exceed my own normal performance, and come back successful. One of our priorities should be to excel in every field of activity and in whatever we do. This will definitely make our masters happy. We have also heard many Abhyasis say that they would like to become a perfect instrument for the master. Now, we should be cautious and we should consider this aspect very carefully. If one is a perfect screwdriver or a hammer, master can use that instrument to either a screwdriver for tightening or removing screws, or a hammer to knock a few nails. Both the instruments are safely kept in a toolbox for use if and as and when required. However, a specialized multi-purpose tool is definitely more useful to the master and can be utilized frequently in carrying out his work. So let us do our very best and become what our masters want us to become. The master tests all of us and all Abhyasis and is continuously preparing them for doing tougher, better, and higher quality level work. If one progresses fast in the spiritual path and reaches a certain level in this incarnation itself and goes to the brighter world, even if he has come first in the primary or the secondary school level, Babuji Maharaj would have to handhold him or her and give them some limited work in a specific field or area. However, if one sincerely practices and evolves to the highest level possible in this incarnation itself and goes further on through higher dimensions, higher regions, realms, and beyond, up to the source itself, then he could be considered as having completed his or her doctorate or postdoctorate and higher level studies beyond. Just imagine how pleased the masters would be. Babuji Maharaj would then tell that person who is so well trained, who has prepared himself, become competent, that he or she is ready to work independently and may be assigned work in some other galaxies or universe. We should all practice, and practice, and prepare ourselves to become spiritual commandos, prepared to face any known and unknown situations. Avail of all possibilities and opportunities to participate in His work eternally if it is possible. Now I will share with you all a parable of Lord Krishna and his bamboo tree. Lord Krishna had planted a sapling and watered it and looked after it for a long time. The sapling grew up to become a bamboo grove. One day, Lord Krishna asked the bamboo to give him a piece of one bamboo branch. The bamboo asked him what did he want it for and what would he do with that piece. Lord Krishna said he would cut it, work on it, sharpen it, smoothen it, drill holes in it. He asked the bamboo to think it over. The bamboo pondered over what Krishna had said. He was definitely afraid that Krishna would cut off the branch and do what he had to do with it. It would be very painful and cause him untold suffering. But the bamboo also felt that his entire life was only due to Lord Krishna, who had planted it, looked after it with all the love and care. So he felt that even if Krishna wanted the entire bamboo grove, he should give it willingly. Lord Krishna is only asking for one piece of just one branch. So he offered the branch. Lord Krishna then worked on the branch and made it into a beautiful flute. The significance of this episode is that the flute is hollow. It is actually nothing, has nothing. It is really nothingness. But when Lord Krishna holds it and blows into it, divine music emanates. Also, the flute always remains with Lord Krishna. This is one way all of us can surrender. That is absolute surrender to the Master. We should become that nothingness and let Him do what He wants to do with us, so that only what the Master wants will spring forth. Let divinity flow out from us to every particle of our body, divinizing everyone and everything around us. Now I would like to consider another aspect which is very important. Anonymous workers. The Master wants sincere and dedicated Abhyasis to be anonymous workers who quietly do what is required for the organization, and no one is even aware of what has been done or what he is doing or she is doing, except the Master. In this context, I would like to share with you a small anecdote of Valmiki and the Ramayana. When Valmiki completed his Ramayana, Sage Narada was not impressed. It is good, he said, but Hanuman's Ramayana is better. Hanuman has written the Ramayana too? Valmiki asked. He didn't like it at all and wondered whose Ramayana was better. So he set out to find Hanuman. And in the Kadali Gruva, the Gruva of plantains, he found the Ramayana inscribed on 7 broad leaves of a banana tree. He read it and found it to be perfect. The most exquisite choice of grammar and vocabulary, meter and melody. He couldn't help himself. He was so overjoyed that he started to cry. It is so bad, asked Hanuman. No, it is too good, said Valmiki. Then why are you crying? Asked Hanuman. Valmiki said that because I am crying because reading your Ramayana, after which no one will ever read my Ramayana. Hearing this, Hanuman simply tore off those 7 leaves and said, now no one will ever read Hanuman's Ramayana. Hanuman also said, you need your Ramayana more than I need mine. You wrote your Ramayana so that the world remembers Valmiki. I wrote my Ramayana so that I remember Ram. At that moment, Valmiki realized that he had been consumed by the desire for validation through his work. He had not used the work to liberate himself from the fear of invalidation. It is important to note that he had not appreciated the essence of Rama's tale to unknot his mind. His Ramayana was a product of ambition, but Hanuman's Ramayana was a product of pure love, devotion, and affection. That is why Hanuman's Ramayana sounds so much better. Valmiki realized that. There are many people like Hanuman who do not want to be famous. They just do their work and fulfill their purpose in life. Let us not become like Valmiki, thinking only my work or my Ramayana is the best. Let us be like Hanuman, who do their best for the Master. There are also many unsung Hanumans in this world, in our life, our mother, our father, spouse, family members, teachers, friends, and so many unknown people. Let us remember them and be grateful to all they have done for us. The subtler aspects we should ponder in this story are: which area of my life are we seeking validation? Who are we seeking this validation from? We should understand that we are complete and perfect in spite of all our imperfections. Now, let us come to the next facet, becoming touchstones. Babuji Maharaj had said, he does not make disciples, he makes masters. The master prepares us, empowers us to acquire mastery over ourselves. He transforms us to become like a touchstone or become a touchstone. It is well known that whatever is touched by the touchstone is transformed into gold. This is the story of King Midas, or anyone who has the capacity to do so. But the touchstones created by Master are different. Whatever is touched becomes another touchstone, and this chain continues, and many more touchstones can be continuously created. Are we touchstones? If not as yet, should we not become what our masters want us to become? And that also as soon as possible. Possibly now itself. Lalaji Maharaj had said that in life, anything is possible. Whatever is possible will certainly possibly happen. However, there is also a possibility of an impossible event happening, which is also possible and becomes possible and happens. We have to appreciate that each one is created uniquely and is a masterpiece. We cannot be compared with anyone. I might copy someone and be similar to it, but I cannot be identical to that person. It is like 5 fingers of our fist. If each finger was identical and same in all dimensions and size and shape, we could never use the hand or the finger. Each of our five fingers are unique. Therefore, we can make our hand into a fist, which signifies unity in diversity. Artfulness stands for unity. Let our hearts be full of love for everyone. Bring about a brotherhood and universal unity. Now I'll come to another aspect or facet of our system. Illuminate the world. Chariji Maharaj had said that an Abhyasi is one wherever he goes and whosoever he is in contact with. All of them, everyone and everything should be divinized. Abhyasi should aspire to become of that caliber. Anyone who looks at an Abhyasi should observe the unseen spiritual glow of the divine light and perceive the inner joy, calmness, grace, poise, balance, the loving and caring attitude, and wonder what sort of practice is he or she doing to be divinized and transformed like this. By merely observing such an Abhyasi, that person should be convinced and motivated to join our system of heartfulness, the Shri Ramchandra mission, and become dedicated and a sincere Abhyasi who will subsequently become role model for other seekers. The masters have worked on us for eons of time and will continue to do so eternally. Let us all do our part by becoming better Abhyasis, evolve to the highest level possible in this incarnation itself, contribute in all ways possible, and participate in Master's work by illuminating the world, the universe, and the creation itself. By Master's grace and blessings, may it be so. Thank you.